Join us for Shabbat, or the Sabbath celebration, on this edition of Roots and Reflections. Shabbat is the most important ritual observance in Judaism. It's much more than just another tradition, but a fundamental law from the beginning. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day. Then God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it. Moreover, Shabbat is the only ritual observance commanded in the Ten Commandments. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Hi.
Shabbat, which means rest or inactivity in Hebrew, is a family time, especially here in Jerusalem, the most Sabbath-keeping city in the world.
I think we certainly enjoy the Sabbath as a time, number one, that it's a time where your family comes together. A lot of time during the week, the family scatters. They may be in the army, they may be at work, at different places. There's a tendency to gather together as often as possible for the Friday night meal. It's a time I look forward to being together with my children, who may be at different events during the week. So it's a time of family unity.
Shabbat's three main purposes are a commemoration of Israel's redemption from slavery in Egypt, a celebration of God's creation of the universe, after which he rested from his work, a foretaste of the world in Messianic times. These add up to Shabbat being a gift from God, a joyous day awaited throughout the week.
Shabbat is the bride of the week. Shabbat is the time that we taste a little bit of heaven, the time that we enter into relationship. Shabbat is first mentioned in Genesis 2, and it's the first thing that God sanctifies, that he makes holy. This is where the word holy is introduced to us. It's time. He set apart time in the sense that the Shabbat is the bride, then the people of Israel are the groom waiting to meet her.
We thank you, Abba, for this Shabbat. We bless your name, Abba, and we thank you that you've called us to be a light to the nations. B'Shem Yeshua, Amen.
The candles are lit by the mother, and it's remembering back to the time of the temple. And of course, there was always fire. There was always a sacrifice going on. There was reminding us of the time of the temple. But today, of course, as Messianics, when we light them, we are lighting them and remembering that he is the light of the world.
Shabbat candlelighting takes place about 18 minutes before sunset on Friday, though in Jerusalem this can be up to 40 minutes before sunset. Genesis 1 says the biblical day starts at evening and not midnight. As it says, so the evening and morning were the sixth day. Shabbat lasts around 25 hours from sundown Friday until 3 stars are visible in the sky on Saturday evening. The beginning of Shabbat changes from week to week and place to place, depending on the time of sunset at each particular location on the face of the globe.
For an experience of a lifetime, come up and join us during the Feast of Tabernacles for the Sukkot celebration, together with the remnant of Israel and the remnant of the nations, for in-depth Bible teaching, wonderful dance and praise before the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. As we come together once again, October 12th to 24th, go to our website, SukkotCelebration.com, or call us today and come up to the city of Jerusalem.
When we talk about praying for the peace of Jerusalem, and here we are in the city of Jerusalem, and we're approaching the Shabbat, what is the geographical and spiritual significance of this place known as the Western Wall, the Wailing Wall?
Well, actually, the Western Wall, when I take people to the Western Wall, I say to them, do you realize this is actually a synagogue? And it's, of course, outdoors, but in Judaism, it basically is the holiest place that you can get to today, because they're as close as they can get under the circumstances of today to that place which is sanctified, the place that is talked about in Genesis 22 that God chose for his name to be sanctified in.
According to the Torah, God said to Moses, "And you shall set the showbread on the table before me always in the tabernacle." This same practice was carried on in the temple. The Sabbath has its bread too, known as challah, and my wife Batya makes the best challah bread in the Middle East.